Thoughts on Pitchfork dying? Bigger story, better story, Riot layoffs. So Riot is joining. Again, it seems like every day we talk about like a new company that's doing big layoffs. Joining Twitch and Google and Discord and Unity and like 15 other fucking gaming companies in doing like significant layoffs. So another 500 plus employees were laid off of Riot today. Again, they're finding out via Twitter. You're seeing all the people tweet about whether they're safe or not. They don't, I mean, they're figuring out as they go. I talked to my friend who works at Riot. He's in recruiting actually. It's a chaotic time. You know, people are left and right finding out during the day. They're getting called into meetings and their Slack's getting turned off and they're getting fired. Now that being said, one thing I'll say is slightly different is that Riot Games, at the very least, they did basically everything I think you can expect as far as severance. They're doing like 6 months paid severance. Your health insurance runs through all the 6 months. They're even paying out like the $1,000 gaming fund. I mean, they're doing everything. So at the very least, I think it's okay. What sucks is, bro, the reason all these layoffs are happening is like all of these companies mismanaged and overhired. Like they all thought that the growth of lockdown would be forever. If you think about it like this, like if we have like, I've never, ever heard of or met pirate software. Imagine something like, this is 2019. This is 2030. Let's say for consumption of streaming services, okay? It's like that. For number of people working from home, it's like that. Decline of cable companies and newspapers, it's like that, okay? What, or like this or whatever. The pandemic right here pulled all of this forward by about 10 years. So instead of being like this, it was like vertical. And so all these companies started thinking that these trends were going to go like from here. But really what's happening is like this and then back down and then up. We're going to get to these points, but they're predicting levels of demand and growth. Like people are coming out of lockdown and doing things that I think they over predicted, they overhired, they overestimated. And this happened with Zoom. This happened with a bunch of companies that all had a boost in consumption during COVID. And they're dealing with it now. They're dealing with the after effects of that. Too big, too fast, too soon. Yeah, they over predicted. But yes, Pitchfork is also firing everybody and replacing a ton of things with like AI generated non-articles, I think. Listen, the whole concept of getting employed by a media company to be a art, music, film critic is like a job that no longer exists, which is not cool. I thought that was a cool era of existing. It existed for decades and now it's just gone. Sports Illustrated's closing down. Yeah, like the remnants of it have migrated into YouTube as individual content creators. That is the remnants of the era of film, art, music criticism and all that. People still want it. They want to hear like, actually what people really want to hear is that something they already like is good. People really just want to hear that. They don't actually really want a critic to tell them if something's good or not. And so that is what YouTube, I guess, has evolved to fill the gap of. There's just not enough money in it for news organizations to do that. And then people don't read print media anymore. Or they want to get mad when they say it's bad. Yeah, I mean, you either got to rage bait or you got to tell them it's good. People love to argue with Fantano or whatever. Yeah. I think he's an example of how it's moved online. I think the most common use is to read product reviews so you confirm your purchase was good. That's interesting. I feel like product reviews are one example where I'm like actually desperately trying to get real reviews. I feel like as a consumer, the rise in fake AI generated reviews sucks ass. I actually want truth because you have to spend money. With media, it's like the marginal cost of watching this movie versus that movie is usually not that different, or this game or whatever. For like Amazon reviews, I want honesty, which is giving you less and less of because of AI generated reviews. Just fucked up. Fake reviews suck. What sucks is most of the criticism YouTube is so negative since TLJ, Game of Thrones Season 8, all the hate bait. Yeah, I do think that like one of the side effects of criticism no longer being like a stable employed writer in Rolling Stone magazine or whatever is that like the critic is now under an incentive to make it really positive or really negative because those make a lot more money. You know, if a movie comes out and you give it a 5, you are also giving your paycheck a 5. Which is like a bad system long-term because critics have to be like, yo, this is the fucking worst dog shit ever as rage bait, or they got to be like, this is actually great. And if you like it, you truly understand cinema. Happened a lot with Rings of Power, which was average people. Yeah, exactly. Rings of Power is a very average show, but no one could just say that. Let's all churn out some reviews, okay, real quick. What's a hot take you guys have about media? Elden Ring is good. That's very saturated, my friend. That's a tough one. I'm not saying you couldn't do it. You can make, I mean, there's actually like 4 million videos where it's like Elden Ring and Souls-like games, why they're so beautiful and how they changed my life. And all I have to do is make it an hour and a half, have some somber music in the beginning, slow, high-res pan shots of different environments in Souls-like games, and then be like, the challenge and the beauty of Souls-like games may be off-putting to some, but for me, it was the fiery crucible through which I grew to love gaming again. Boom. All right, I made a bunch. I gotta say that over and over in different ways for an hour. Yeah, so you could do that, right? And people would enjoy that because they could put it on their second monitor and reaffirm their beliefs. But it's hard to stand out. That's a difficult one. I mean, if you want to play this like a fucking mathematician, what you do is you find out how old is the average Zoomer right now. They're between fucking 12 and 26, I guess, maybe 13, 27. So what did they watch 10 years ago? What was popular in, let's say, 2012, 2013? Hunger Games, iCarly, perfect. Now we got those. So we think about 10 years ago, we find something big, pick something that's like critically not acclaimed. iCarly. Why iCarly was great, comma, actually. And then like an iconic image of iCarly in the thumbnail, okay? Now I'm cutting through great clips of iCarly, and I'm talking about how actually this is an underrated gem. People don't understand why this is actually a really fucking hilarious show. Do you understand? Yeah. First, I'm going to start out with 15 minutes of reading the Wikipedia article about the show, where I talk about when it was created and how it had high ratings and what. I'll do that. Then I show some clips. Then I talk about why it's great. Bam. That's a fucking million view thing. Do you understand? That's how you really do it. If you're really trying to play the numbers, you need to sell people's childhood back to them in a positive way through long form media, because you get more money from that. This exists. Click the link. Wait, what? Oh, well, this is I binged iCarly. Quentin reviews. Not the same thing, but still, like, yeah, exactly, dude. 4 hours, 45 minutes, 5.6 million views. This is part one. This is part one. Oh my God. Wait, there's actually, dude, look at this. I binged iCarly 4 hours, 45 minutes. The end of iCarly, 3 hours, 35 minutes. The failure of Victorious, 5 hours, 34 minutes. The end of Victorious, 8 hours and 5 minutes. 8 hours and 5 minutes about Victorious. 5 hours and 7 minutes about the scandal of Sam and Cat. 6 hours, 28 minutes about the decay of Sam and Cat. And then 9 hours and 30 minutes on the collapse of Sam and Cat. I obviously get this one because I watched 6 hours and 28 minutes of the decay of Sam and Cat. And I'm like, this is good, but it doesn't really cover the collapse. I wish this was all of this again with another 3 hours, another Oppenheimer on top about the collapse. Do you know what I'm saying? The issue is there's so much dead air in these videos. Bro, financially, there's no issue. They've figured it out. It's just clips, right? It is just a place, a networking place for people that remember the show to watch it and go in the comments and be like, I remember, I love the show. That's it. That's what it exists for. My favorite is when YouTube movie snobs talk for longer than the movie is, like 4-hour videos on 2-hour movies. You have to understand that length, it's almost like, okay, so you know how, you don't know anything about cars, right? Let's say you don't know anything about cars and you see 2 cars in the lot, and one of them costs $8 grand and one of them costs 38 grand. Your mind automatically jumps to a bunch of assumptions about that 38 grand car that you think it's better, that you think something about it is better. It's cleaner, it's nicer, it's more modern, it runs better, whatever. The price is you're using it as a shortcut, as a signal for the quality of the car. You don't look inside the hood, you don't know anything, but the price has been a signal. For YouTube, length is also a shortcut, a mental shortcut that this is going to be a great video to put on while I do something else. If it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you're going to think, okay, this video wants me to pay attention. This video is trying to make a point and I need to like pay attention when I watch it. If this video is 3 hours or 4 hours, this video is telling you I didn't do much work. I am giving you slop. I'm giving you slop that you can put on. So it's you know, against what you used to think. Like the old way of YouTube was that you wanted to be as close to 10 minutes as possible because of attention spans are short. But really, short attention spans don't mean short videos. What it means is the video can't try to make too much of a point. What it really means is you want to just be passive. It needs to be as passive as possible. It's like Emily in Paris. Yeah, exactly. It's like Emily in Paris and a lot of the shows that Netflix is trying to make. I was reading a really good interview with Willem Dafoe, and he was saying that, you know, one thing he has noticed about the movie industry nowadays is that people generally The way they view movies is they sit on their couch with their spouse or whatever, their significant other. They browse around, they watch 10 minutes of 3 movies, and they say, let's go to bed. That's what he was saying in the interview. He's like, it's just a different environment. What is being greenlit is just different and needs to like respond to that environment where it has to catch your attention better. So like a Kevin Hart and The Rock movie where Kevin Hart is short and The Rock is buff/big. Are you saying it's great? What are you trying to say? That's amazing. Well, I don't know what you're getting at other than like, we all love that. Maybe you're not, maybe you don't get it. Ooh, maybe you don't get it. Let me break it down for you since you're obviously not getting it. Kevin Hart is short, yes. But not only that, he is way shorter than The Rock. So that when they're next to each other, are you catching up now? The Rock looks way bigger. He's short, The Rock is big and strong and powerful, and Kevin Hart's weak and small. That's why it's funny. What if we use CGI to make a movie where Kevin Hart is big and buff and The Rock is really short? You're actually spitting right now. You're actually changing the paradigm. I actually think you get a fucking 360 deal with Netflix right now, dude. That could be really funny. Turn on your phone. Netflix is calling as we speak. I really want to see like pure CGI Kevin Hart's face on like a really ripped body. The Rock would never do that. That's actually true. The Rock would only do that if the movie ended with him becoming big and strong and the hero again. He would never just have a full movie where he plays like the butt of the joke. He just wouldn't do it. Yeah, Central Intelligence, if you're a true Rock aficionado, you know he did play like a fat guy who got bullied a lot in high school, but then it shows him as really tough and strong.